Hello everybody, welcome back for StarCraft 2 action! We have NightMare going up against Clem in the red trunks, and of course NightMare in the blue trunks, loading in on Whispers of Gold for another quarter-finals Homestory Cup 26. Kind of losers, because the loser is out of the tournament. And of course we have Whispers of Gold with no ramp at the natural. Clem, I think he got first in his group and NightMare got second. But dude, NightMare actually pretty crazy Protoss in his own right. I didn't really catch him at Homestory Cup. Maybe I just missed the times that he was on camera or even commentating. But he's a pretty good Protoss player, and we all know that Protoss kind of needs their new prodigies nowadays. So we did see some PvT on the new patch, but it was Clem actually playing the Protoss, if you saw my previous video. So let's see how PvT looks when he's the Terran. NightMare goes across with a probe to try and scout out what Clem's doing. Clem is getting a Reaper, one gas, going for the expand, and this probe bumps into two SCVs. And Clem even going for an SCV scout even though the Reaper's already halfway done. Interesting, let's see what happens there. Oh, alright. Homestory Cup was plagued with lots and lots of lag spikes. It was unfortunate, to say the least. So maybe RiquizCasts kind of a better experience in some way. NightMare puts down the low ground pylon, maybe showing his intention to wall. We did see Clem do that basically every game. Go for Kate or Gate Robo with the Twilight in the main. Let's see what NightMare thinks about the PvT matchup and how you should approach it. We do see the Twilight console coming out, so could just be going into those Blink Stalkers. Does kind of look like it now, doesn't it? Factory coming out for Clem, second gas. And even a bunker in the front. Just making sure he's not going to get overwhelmed by the Protoss. And maybe he's already kind of accepting that, yep, if my opponent makes a bunch of Blink Stalkers and I have to protect my main as well, then this bunker's just going to be very nice to have. Don't see any of the scouting just yet. Oh, look at that. There's like a Thor stuck in a building. Don't see that every day. Little tasteless moment. Or we discussed the map. Oh my god, Clem Reaper, of course, gets a probe kill. Why not? And Blink is underway. Clem going for a Widow Mine here. Has a starport underway as well. So, perchance, could be preparing for a nice cheeky Widow Mine drop, which is still pretty good against Protoss, because their probes still die to Widow Mines. One Stalker just running across the map. That's kind of ballsy, no? Like, if a Cyclone build was out, then this Stalker would be giga dead, and suddenly NightMare is out of one Stalker. And seeing as he only has two right now, that would be 50% of his Stalker. She has math. Robo has been created as well. We see two gates and a third one underway. The Reaper plus Hellion run in, and that's why you want the wall. But both of these units are pretty low HP. The Reaper gets another probe. That is two probes. Wait, huh? Oh, I guess I thought one already exploded. But I guess the Hellion Reaper only got one probe. I thought they got two, but that's not true. The Widow Mine drop goes in, so there's no Reaper Hellion to go and try and make NightMare react to that. But Clem thought he could get some damage. Goes for the mine drop, and he's just kind of hoping that NightMare takes damage. Okay. Whoa, one Stalker does go down. Yes, it did. To the double Widow Mine drop. And Clem does make NightMare stayed home for that moment, but I guess NightMare could move out right now. He has Blink, he has 3 gateways, he has an Observer. I just want to see him run across the map and, oh, Clem with the pseudo wall here. This is kind of cool. Look at this. This is kind of a wall with the tank behind it, so the Blink Stalkers can't, like, move on top of the tank right away. Instead, NightMare actually staying at home with his Blink Stalkers. He's like, I'm afraid of a secondary drop. I'm gonna stay at home, but Clem at home is actually afraid of the Stalkers. So he's staying at home as well. Now NightMare, taking advantage of this, is getting a third base. And, oh, the Observer does get cleaned up by the Raven and the Marines. NightMare move commanding that Observer into the main base of Clem, and he was waiting for it. He was hunting for it. He was fiending for it. Now, no third command center just yet. +1 is underway. Stim is underway. And we don't have combat shields just yet, but I'm guessing that this barracks is going to change that. We see Storm firing up here for NightMare. 3 Stalkers at the front. Check one of the third bases, or the possible third bases. And is now going to check the other one, perhaps. Do see a third command center going down here in the main base of Clem. And this Raven is going to look for a little bit of harassment. Is going to scout this base as well. Look at that. Oh, the Raven! Oh, it comes in now. It's actually completely undetected. But maybe Clem didn't know that? Goes into the natural now as well. Puts down another auto turret. And near the gas, it's pretty hard to target down all the probes. But 4 probes do go down. Almost a 5th one. And that's a nice little damage for Clem over there. Raven just chills here, dude, as a Zerg player. This is a nightmare. But Protoss, I guess you can just leave 2 Stalkers there. And I guess a Zerg could leave 2 Queens there. But that doesn't feel good. We don't have shield batteries. Clem now moving out on the map. Double medevac, +1 about to finish. Combat shield's about to finish, and Stim is already here. Some Widow Mines and tanks move across the map. This could be a pretty painful attack. Third base in the line of the attack is going to be placed down. More Widow Mines reinforcing, and Clem is just rallying towards the third base here. The Stalkers did not find this army before it already arrives at the third base. Oh no, there's a Warp Prism. It's filled with High Templar. It dies. No! NightMare! He just lost all of his High Templar! Those were 3 High Templar with Storm! NightMare was really completely confused about where the army of Clem was. And Clem was already at his 3rd. Oh my god, no! I mean, he's alive, question mark. But I think he's a little dead inside. After losing all of his High Templar, like he had to warp in High Templar, use that energy rejuvenation spell on the Nexus. I forget what it's called. But just a nuclear energy spell. Just the mana potion spell. I don't know, the mango. I hope the community finds a good name for it. I don't have a brilliant one just yet. Little drop here in the main from Clem is doing the damage. Flicking down the shield battery even. Widow Mines get triggered. And now get killed. The drop is dead. But NightMare, is he alive? Bunch of Charge Zealots are being warped in. Storm doesn't feel as good if your opponent doesn't have that many units to Storm, but you still can't deal with them. Nice Storms on the Widow Mines though. Does soften them up. I feel like Widow Mines should lose some HP so they get one shot by Storm, just like the Banelings, don't you guys think? Would be nice. Would be nice. Oh my god, pretty fast ghosts coming out here for Clem. He smells blood in the water, dude. He's just rallying stuff over. These 2 medevacs, if only they had bio in them, could do some devastating drop action. Both players missing each other right now. Clem on the in the middle of the map, moving out towards the base of NightMare. NightMare attacks the third base, doesn't have any Stormy Boys here. And he does have them ready at the third base. Does not have any energy. 5 energy missing on both of these players. Forge gets clicked down. The third base has to lift. And NightMare, is he going to go for a recall? He is going for a recall in the main. And the natural gets clicked down. Look at all of these Widow Mines. They could be stormed down, but Widow Mine... Oh, NightMare doesn't see it. The Widow Mines have triggered, then the Storms do go down. An Archon is morphed. And I think NightMare is going to clean it up, but without a natural nexus and 18 probes dying, going below 40 probes, building 2 Nexi, just desperately trying to stake a claim in this game. But Clem is relentless, dude. I mean, this is probably the last fight that NightMare could try and take. He has a decent army supply, but bunch of ghosts in the army for Clem already. No more Stormy boys in the army. We do have one back at home with 2 storms ready. And soon to be a 3rd storm on the other High Templar. And this Raven still being annoying. 13 kills, probably just putting down auto turrets every time. Punished for not opening Stargate anymore. If only you were able to make one Phoenix. I mean, what is NightMare to do? His army is out here, like, chasing ghosts. Like, actual ghosts. Not the unit, but the shades that he sees in his nightmares. Oh, nice feedback. Guess feedbacks are faster than snipes. We do still have about 3 storms remaining here. 4 storms even. And the 4th base does go down. NightMare correctly identifying that he can't fight this. 1 EMP does go down on the High Templar. We have 1 more. I think he's trying to feed back the ghosts, but only 1 ghost remaining. Gets an EMP on the army. The High Templar still has a storm, but the 4th base is down. The probe count is still negligible. It's so low. Like, Clem is almost doubling his work supply. The High Templar do find the storms, but the +1/+1 bio army just melting apart NightMare's army, and NightMare doesn't have any AoE. 1 more storm to do it all. If only Clem decides to bathe in it for the entire duration, he might be able to stay alive, but no. NightMare is forced to GG out there after, honestly, pretty crucial mistake, losing that War Prism plus all of his High Templar. Just taking a little bit too much damage, not really taking any tempo with his Stalkers early. I hope that in game number 2, he's a little bit more active with his early Stalkers, doesn't give Clem as easy of a time just getting damage done, because that first drop didn't do that much. Like, I guess you lose a Stalker, not great, but losing 1 probe, 1 Stalker, and then having the freedom to move across the map and not doing so? I mean, I understand that if there's a second drop or a Liberator or whatever, you could lose a bunch more probes, but he was so passive because of that. Did go into the Storm. I thought the Storm was pretty cool, but need to keep that War Prism alive. Let's see if NightMare picks himself up. Game number 2. And for game number 2, we load up into Ley Lines with Clem going up against NightMare. For game number 2 of their series quarterfinals, loser is out of the tournament. NightMare flies his War Prism with High Templar into the army of Clem and loses it promptly, kind of starting a slow but certain death animation for game number 1. Now, Ley Lines is this weird map with the rich geysers that is blocked by a mineral patch that you have to mine first, but also there's literally 18 bases on this map. Wow. This probe actually sneaks on in as if he doesn't find it. Might see a nice little proxy here. Are we going to see the Max Packs build? That would be cool. I would like that. I would like a little shake up. But this map having that many bases, like, leads me to believe that the middle 4 bases are untakeable because they are probably very hard to defend with these ridges and stuff. And because you don't get a gas early, it's kind of half a base, maybe? But also, then why are the patches there? Just to prevent rushes, I guess? I don't like maps with lots and lots of bases, honestly. Because I feel like StarCraft 2 already kind of doesn't have a timer on it when people decide that they don't want to fight a lot. Like, I think the Ryung Maru game number 2 that I cast earlier today, well, yesterday, whatever, is a great example of why less bases is great, because Ryung and Maru got to the cap of the map really fast when they allowed each other to just mass expand. And it actually came into play, bases mining out, forcing people together, and actually rewarding Maru in that game. Oh my god. He finds the proxy. The engineering bay does get taken down, so NightMare's Nexus a little delayed, and now it's NightMare's time to put on a little pressure. But to finish my thought, Maru was rewarded for thinking ahead, playing the long game by taking the corner bases. Now, imagine this map. There's no such play. You are literally taking 2 more to 3 more bases before that happens. There's so many resources on this map. I'm not a fan. I don't think that makes for great pacing. That basically means that you are never getting to the end game unless something is very wrong. It just prolongs the super late game artificially, kind of, for such a long time. Personally not a fan, but could make for interesting games, I suppose, because ninja basing seems okay, although there's no easy base to defend at all. Are all pretty open. Oh, and here comes the old Cyclone, now the new Cyclone. Oh my god, locks on a Stalker. Ooh, NightMare. You don't want to lose that. I think Clem is the NightMare in this game. It's NightMare's NightMare. I think everybody saw that joke coming from a long way. Now we see Twilight Console coming out from NightMare again. I like that he tried to do a different build here. Go for the max packs. Go for that forward proxy gate. And try and put some pressure onto Clem. But Clem had different ideas. Made a nice engineering bay that forced NightMare to respond. And basically from the Nexus timing and the units that he saw, he already kind of figured what was going on. I mean, with that build, NightMare does make a Zealot right away, so probably this seems good for him. Oh, but the double Cyclone, though, they lock onto the Zealot. The Zealot doesn't do much. He just tanks a little bit. Ooh, double shots on the Cyclones from the Stalkers. And now double lock-on onto these Stalkers, doing a lot of damage. And one Stalker again going down. Nice micro by Clem. These Cyclones don't have that much health. But NightMare not able to break the lock. These Marines making sure that these Stalkers couldn't stand the ground all too long. The Stalkers trying to chase here. Ooh, the Cyclones want to get another juicy lock-on. Do some damage to the Stalkers. We do have the blink. And Robo is coming up. NightMare again doesn't want to go for the wall. Maybe he's afraid that Cyclones and or siege tanks can really mess with your wall. Now this time around, Clem also doesn't have like a Hellion or Reaper or whatever, so seems a lot more excusable here, or not having a wall seems better. Oh, they do see each other now, and the Stalkers will kill this Marine before it can find out if there's a third. Now the Robo, the Blink, and how many gates? 3 gateways. Let's see what NightMare is looking for. Let's see if he does the aggressive blinks that Clem was showing. But Clem has so many units. He almost has blink. He can start picking off Marines then. Look at that. Kills one Marine. Kills another Marine. Kills another one and blinks back. That's 3 Marines. Just cost of doing business for Clem here. Cost of being on the map versus a NightMare. And that's a lot of Stalkers on the high ground. They're clicking down these Marines. This Stalker in the back might not be happy with his assignment, but does blink out in the end. One Stalker does go down to the Marines. And we don't have Stim. It's just Combat Shields. Not even done. Oh, both of these upgrades are about to finish. The Stalker there is chilling. Bing shilling. No third base for NightMares. Just making Stalkers from 3 gateways. Making more in the back, dude. Oh, and he goes for the blink. NightMare just doesn't have enough Stalkers to one-shot the tank. Does two-shot the tank. And then, oh my god, the Marines, they have Stim, and they do immense damage to NightMare. And just like that, NightMare gets killed by Clem in this game number 2. I thought NightMare should be able to hold this with the extra production coming out. He has the 3 gates, didn't invest in a third, and even was able to shave off a couple of Marines, but Clem, with the 3 racks build here, with the tanks, did manage to go, I guess, towards the half waypoint of the map before really getting stopped by the stalkers, and Clem never really chased the stalkers. It was just like, I'm moving across the map. Took a decent fight at the top of this ramp, even though there was no stim, no combat shields. I guess just a couple stalkers that NightMare lost to the Cyclones and the Marines earlier, and then again to the Marines over here, ended up making it very difficult for him to hold. And also, there was just no charge slots. I think you hit before charge is done, but whew. Dude, Clem is ruthless, hitting very sharp timings here, and NightMare just seeming helpless. And for game number 3, we load up into a map straight out of 2019. It's King's Cove. Clem is kind of in the act of destroying NightMare right now in this best of 5. So let's hope that NightMare can kind of come back here, show us he's got something. Because when we saw Clem do a very similar build to Gumi, it looked pretty good. But when we see NightMare do it to Clem, it doesn't look that good. Maybe NightMare needs to make an adept, get a little bit more scouting, so we can make the right amount of stalkers and place them at the right spots. But it seems rough out here. Another big map, 9 bases on each side, and I don't know if people remember this map. Let me show it to you. The natural with the rocks, kind of like Abyssal Reef. Going into a free third, and oh my god, did I hate people playing Sky Toss, walling this off, and just making carriers, bro. I'm just making carriers. What do you mean? So annoying. But a Zerg, this map feels pretty good, pretty open. Dude, with it, this map looks a lot like Abyssal Reef, in a way. If you look at this, like, on the Abyssal Reef, you have a similar thing. There's a base here, there's a base here. Whatever. NightMare, we need you to make us believe. Make us believe more than FlyQuest made us believe. At Worlds, for a different game that I don't play, but... Disclaimer, I don't play that. I'm a Dota player. I'm a StarCraft player first, though. I also play Melee. Guys, before the action kicks off, a NightMare is perchance, going to make us believe. Be sure that you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Really do appreciate it. I'd like to grow my channel, and for next year, I want to cast an event. I want to go to a live event if possible. Hopefully to cast it. And if you want to help me on my way, that would be greatly appreciated. I'll be doing a lot of Homestory Cup replays in the near future. As kind of a compensation. Adept. Actually on the map, okay. So I can see why Protosses would like to go Stalkers now, because, oh my god, look at this main base. Such a big ridge. That doesn't seem very fun versus Blink Stalker, especially if it's parting or something. This ain't parting, we know that much. Oh my god, Clem Reaper. It's Clem Reaper time. That's 2 probes, that's a 3rd probe, and I think NightMare is living one right now. Going for a Stargate that does get scouted. I kind of like that he's changing it up. That is what we asked for. And oh, he's going for Phoenix. Is this a Phoenix Colossus game? That would be pretty cool. Bunker is here. Cyclone is coming out. So look at this ridge, dude. That does seem very annoying for Blink Stalkers. And then if you are up here, you can't be down here. So it's kind of... It seems really good for Blink Stalkers. Right? If you're here with your Blink Stalkers, you can either blink all of them up or you can blink all of them on the bunker. I guess it is very good for like 2 siege tanks up there. But if you get the blink on the siege tanks, then, you know... I don't know. Could still be happening. Because we do have a Twilight Console behind this. I was about to say. We saw Showtime do that against Hero Marine. You build like 2, 3 Phoenix just to control the air. You don't get dropped anymore by the annoying Widowmine drops, etc. And then you go into a Twilight Console. Go for the Blink Stalkers. Control the map. And especially on this base, could even be worse than just controlling the map if you go for a bunch of Blink Stalkers. Cyclone gets ready to push away the Cyclone. Or this Oracle. Oracle does get the scouting information, sees the starport, sees the factory with the tech lab, and this Adept might be cooked. Let him cook. Oh, he actually... He's in the main? What? Where did it go? I guess it died. That much is for sure. But I don't know where it died. I guess it shaded into the main. Also didn't get recalled. Medevac push with a bunch of Marines. Do we have any upgrades? 0 upgrades. Just pure naked Marine with 2 Cyclones. Now that looked very strong from Clem in game number 2. Where he was just using the Marines as a meat shield. And then using the Cyclones to do all the damage. Oh my god. Nice stasis ward. Clem immediately pushes into the main with his Medevac. The Stalkers. Maybe they can catch the Medevac. Click the Medevac. Yes, the Medevac did get clicked, and now these Marines can get cleaned up, and you can get ready to kill the Cyclone. NightMare's redemption arc is starting. Another stasis ward does get cleaned up by the Cyclone. They're on Minesweeper duty, baby. But, oh my god, dude. NightMare actually cleans up this entire push of Clem without losing a lot. Like, he lost a bunch of energy on the Oracle. That was it. Right? That's it. This is amazing for NightMare. Gets a third base that Clem knows nothing about. And, ooh, this SCV was being sent out, but then Clem's like, nah, I'm not gonna build my third on location. That's a little spooks. He did see the Twilight Console. A Robo is underway at the front. We see a Templar Archives as well. Dude, NightMare's getting all the tech. He's getting the third, he's getting the tech. So now we see Storm, we see Charge, and probably going to be seeing Observers and War Prisms to control the map, go big Gateway Man, and have Storm ready to be dropped down on the Terran player. Now, the third base for Clem is halfway done. More Medevacs are coming in. Remember that one Medevac did die. Do we still have that Phoenix? We do. Where is it? Okay, it's patrolling the top. These Stalkers do find a nice full volley on that Medevac. So that Medevac now halfway dead. And this Medevac is moving out. Does Clem realize it? Or does NightMare realize that this army is not the same anymore? Oh, look at these Adepts trying to find any drop that's going across the map. Nice Blinkstalker Micro. Getting a little bit of value here, but there's a drop moving towards the third base. Stalkers get some nice clicks on the Widow Mine. Almost kill it. Oh, they want to get a little bit more value out of that Stasis Ward. Do get the value now. This Medevac is going into the main base. And is NightMare going to pull all of his units for that? No, he F2'd! The High Templar are going to the main, whilst Clem moves in with his army. Clem just gets to go in for free. NightMare, you can't do this. His High Templar, again, out of position. They die. He misses, what, 1 or 2 storms? And now Clem is in his natural. Everything in the main has been cleaned up. The Robo's getting targeted down. Even the Observer dying. I mean, if NightMare manages to hold on here, he is at least in this game. But that's a consolation prize after kind of throwing a lead here. Down in supply, down in worker supply, and heavily down in army supply. That Adept got F2'd into the army here. And I think NightMare is just kind of an F2 addict. And it's biting him in the butt. Game number 1, he already got F2'd by himself, losing his High Templar. Oh my god, more Stalkers dying, and just more and more Stalkers dying, getting chipped away by Clem. And just look at the Widow Mines. How are you going to deal with those? Nice target fire on the Medevac, but you just don't have the Stalker number anymore to really make that viable. How much energy do we have? We have 1 storm, we have 2 storms. 1 storm does go down. He knows where the Widow Mine is. Widow Mine doesn't die to a singular storm. He doesn't hit the Widow Mine with that. He does have an extra storm. He used the energy transplant from the Nexus. So no more energy transplant coming in. He just has this 1 storm. The storm goes down, whiffs completely. Now we do have Charge. Charge is used. Oh my god, the Zealots are just melting to these +1 bio units, and Clem is going to move in for the kill. Is he just going to decisively kick NightMare out of this game 3-0? Or can he hold on? Can he get the storms? No, he cannot. He doesn't have the energy, and NightMare just doesn't have the steam in his engine or anywhere. Clem, just in dominant form, shows us that he has won some tournaments recently and that he is ready to do it again. Time to dethrone Gumi. Poor NightMare. I mean, he just got ratio. Is that how you say it? Ratioed? He got bopped. Bibbidi bopped. Fourth base even going down for Clem, dude. He's just cruising on autopilot, destroying NightMare in this game, in this series, honestly. That's a rough one. That's just how good Clem is. Clem just making these really good Protoss players, or good players in general, looking foolish. And with that, that's a 3-0. And if we had to rate this series, that's honestly just a 2 out of 8 Blue Mineral series. Like, this is forgettable. You could skip this series. Just accept, oh yeah, Clem is a better player. He won. Nothing of value is lost if you don't watch this, except for the comedic value of NightMare just losing his high Templar at game number 1.
Locked in.
That's how it is sometimes. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed nonetheless, and I hope to see you in the next one. Be sure to like and subscribe. Cheers.